Hello, Mary.
Hello, Danny. How are you?
I am excellent. How are you?
I'm doing lovely, recouping my energy.
It could be your energy.
I'm recouping my energy. Yeah.
Yeah, recouping. Yeah, we were talking about that backstage a little bit because we are recording this on Wednesday, August 5th. I've been talking and getting a lot about the different energies that are going on. You mentioned Mercury retrograde, and I promptly told you that's over. Get over
You,
it.
you
Mercury
did.
retrograde is over. But we have all these other energies that are lingering. And how long does Mercury retrograde actually stretch out? Do you know?
For me, it's the shadow period that gets me
Hmm.
most. Like during it, it's the electronics, right? But it's the shadow
Yeah,
period before and after that tend to drain my energy or,
got
get
it.
in the way the most. So we're just coming off that tail end of the shadow energy. So I'm personally like, wow, I just went through a thing energetically. And now I need to recoup my energy. In fact, I told you last night I had a dream. It wasn't a dream, but I dreamed that I was going through plant spirit medicine over and over and over again. And the interesting thing about that dream is that I went through it 3 times. I went through the plant spirit medicine and I was afraid and I was trying to fight it. And then I released that control of it, and spirit led me through, okay, it's day 2, time to do it again. I released more control. Okay, it's day 3, time to do it again. And by the time day 3 came around, I was flowing. I was in a body high. Everything was beautiful.
Plant spirit medicine. What is that?
It's what the good Lord gave us naturally as drugs, essentially,
Oh,
meaning that it opens us to spirit, to seeing ourselves, to removing blockages. So there's many different kinds.
yeah,
Uh, so there's psilocybin, ayahuasca, San Pedro. There's a lot of different
a
ones.
lot of different. Yeah. So you had a dream of that. So now you don't need to do it.
Yeah, I dreamed it just last night slash this morning around 4 a.m. That's what was happening. So I imagine it's releasing a lot of that old energy that I'm recouping right now so I can move forward into Lion's Gates, Leo energy, eclipse right here this month, because that's a lot of big energy. It's very powerful, it's very
Yeah,
heightened.
yeah.
Uh,
And eclipse energy as well this month. So yeah, just a ton of stuff. I totally forgot about the shadow of Mercury retrograde because that's what affects me a lot too. I'm
yeah.
fine during Mercury retrograde as long as aware that if I'm going to sign a contract, double check, triple, quadruple check the contract. And buying electronics, you'll probably have to rebuy again, and cars. But I don't rule my life on it.
Mhm.
Shadow Mercury retrograde. That's really hard for me. I just am exhausted a
Mhm.
lot. So one of the things that I wrote down to talk to you about, because well, tell me what you're doing on your channel, on your school. What's going on there?
On my school, on my channel in general.
On your channel in general, and then your Earth and Stars wellness. What's going on there?
We have our normal Sunday teachings, our spiritual teachings,
Hmm.
and once a month we also do healing temples. We have free emotional support groups that we do once a month, and then we're also planning our next 3 retreats. So
Yeah.
we're going through 2027 and the beginning of 2028, and the one that we have launched so far is our Yo Cresco Peruvian retreat for our
Ooh, cool.
shaman students. So that's going to be a fun time next November.
Yeah. Yeah. I've always wanted to go to Peru. My neighbor is from Peru. She goes, come on down, come on down. But that Machu Picchu where I would go, it's a little high up, little high
Yeah.
in altitude.
Yeah, it is. It
Yeah.
is pretty high. I'm sure you'd get used to it. There's higher mountains.
Oh, I would, but my wife, not so much. So I'd have to leave her down in the lowlands while I go try some plant medicine. I don't know, and I don't know if I would do it or not. I don't have any judgment on it. I just don't know. I think it would have to be at the very right time, right place, right time.
I'm sure if you had the opportunity to do it, it would be the right time for you. Because you're right, you have to be with someone who's trauma informed, with someone who knows what they're doing. With you have to feel safe. That's a big one, and that is something we're going to be doing at this retreat. We are, of course, visiting Machu Picchu and doing traditional despachos, and we're also visiting the School of Aini for the Quechua kids out there, and making a donation and giving back and spending some time with them because that's where our Andean teachings come from. So we want to give back.
Yeah,
That's reciprocity. Aini is a big part of this.
the
Um,
Indian shamans, right? That you're talking about? Is that what you're talking about?
these teachings that we use to help heal our lives, the psychology of them originally came from the Sacred Valley, from Andean shamans.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's from the Quechua people. That's the indigenous group there.
Yes.
So we want to go visit the indigenous group and to give back to that school and to have some reciprocity.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Cool. I mean, it sounds so exciting. Yay, yay, yay. All right. So, we were talking a little bit in the beginning about how during all this energy that we're dealing with, we can feel pretty lost. We can feel pretty scattered. And I was listening to this podcast, and this woman was talking about being a waitress and how she could not get control of her tables, of the floor, and she was out of control. And she saw this one waiter who was in complete control. He had been there forever. He just had it. She goes up to him and says, how do you do this? And he goes, come here. And the restaurant's crazy, full of people coming in and out. He goes, you come to this space away from everybody else and you tell the room, I'm in control, not you. I love that. I love that the power that he gave that woman, not that she didn't have it herself, but just reminded her of how she needs to control the room. I control the room, not you. So, what is it that you do when this energy throws you out of control of the room?
Well, I'll tell you what I do, and it's not that. I really, it's not that. I like that because that's empowerment, which shows that she probably felt pretty helpless in the situation that she was in.
Yeah.
And so bringing that empowerment back to her helped her continue to move forward.
Yeah.
When I find myself in very chaotic spaces, I tend to just release all control. It's like a screw it, F it, whatever happens kind of situation. Just let it all go, dissociate and flow through until the next step is given to me. But that might be because I'm not operating necessarily from a space of powerlessness, but because I'm operating in a space of spirit.
Yep.
Spirit doesn't give us the next steps all the time. Spirit says, here, I want you to create this, go do it. and it's like your karmic journey to figure out how to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes it's so chaotic and there's so much going on and there's too much to hold, and you just have to let it all go.
Yeah. Okay.
I had that last night.
You do what?
I had that moment last night. Yeah.
During what trip? First, second, or
Before
third?
the trip, before the trip, one of my board members texted me and was like, hey, like this $50,000 project that you're putting together, I think that you may have left out this one piece that kind of puts you a couple grand in the hole. And I was like, immediate spiral, because like, where are we going to compensate for that? And
Yeah.
then I just laid there and I was like, like this board member had to tell me this, of course, at like bedtime while I'm actually laying in bed. So I don't have to process it or talk to people. And I finally was like, screw it.
Yeah.
Like, what am I going to do?
Exactly.
But then I woke up the next morning after my San Pedro trip, and I had another email in my inbox where that actually wasn't a problem, because I actually didn't overlook that.
Yeah.
So
So that's cool. One of the things that and I love that. I love that when you're faced with this swirling energy, is to, it feels like you were saying, just step in the void and just let it work out in the way that it's going to work out, or present a solution to you in the way that spirit wants you to hear it. So one of the reasons why I identified with that waitress story so much is because I was a waiter, and nobody had a good time at the restaurant when I was waiting. Nobody. I was the worst waiter ever. Now I also bartended. I was a pretty good bartender, but as a waiter, awful. But the thing that grabbed me with this was, you walk away from the chaos, which is what you did. $50,000, spinning around. You walked out of the chaos and you go, let's see what happens and what develops. And is this really something to worry about? The other part of the story that the pro waiter said is, you start in one direction and you just keep the circle flowing, and you don't interrupt the circle. You just keep that circle flowing. And I thought that was really brilliant, and held a lot of synchronistic messages for what we're going through right now. Because you stepped away from it. You did 3 trips on your plant medicine, and you kept that flowing. You woke up and then you go, well, things worked out or presented themselves as a solution. And I think that's really important these times.
I like the circle movement as well, because that's obviously a very physical example of a physical room, and moving in a circle and managing the people and the elements in each part of the room. But even with work, or when you're by yourself, or energetically, just keeping a flow going. And if this thing stops working out, just move on to the next thing and the next project. And when you get tired of that, or drained from that, or you're hitting a wall, move on to the next thing until you come back around, and then something new there. So I can see that.
And the other thing too that I really liked about that circular flow was, when I step into my practice, it's always circular. When I step into my sacred space, I always open it up with the 6 directions, 4 directions, and then up below me, and it keeps growing. My directions keep growing. But so that's a huge part of it, staying in that circle. And so again, when I get in this crazy energy, if I can drop into my sacred space circle and set that up, then it seems to me that I am allowing more of spirit to come through and present itself in a clear way versus, well, in the chaotic, muddied way of me bouncing around to whatever direction I think is going to help. Does that make sense? I think it did. Yeah.
It does make sense, yes.
Okay.
From
I
a
just thought it was fun that um, I'm jotting notes down for this show, and that came in, and I went, well, that's what I was going to talk about. I was just going to talk about this chaos. How do you manage the chaos in this time? Because we're all feeling it, I think.
and I just don't manage it. I let it be unmanageable. I do what I can
Mm.
and
That's
just let it be.
but that's managing it.
It is.
Yeah.
But that's that power bottom kind of energy. I'm in charge, but I'm in charge by not being in charge.
There you go. All
Work
right.
out because I'm in charge.
Yeah. Okay. What else? What else, Mary? We need to solve another piece of the puzzle.
Well, you said you had two questions for me, one of which you weren't going to tell me until you hit record.
Oh, dang. I better look at this. Okay. What was the other one?
Well, yeah, about control. You said you were going to ask that.
Okay, here we go. I think I have it. So we were talking about um, in your wellness school that is it a school? Am I saying that right or wrong in your practice?
Well, I just have different courses that I teach, and shamanism is one of them that I teach.
Okay. So you were talking about a lot of cutting cords.
Mm-hmm.
And when you cut cords, that would be an attachment that you have to you that no longer serves. Is that correct?
So, how I view cutting cords is when we have an unhealthy attachment that's allowing the draw of energy between people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because at this time, with these eclipses that we're coming into, this is a good time to look at those and to release some of those cords that are attached to us that are draining our energy. And it was fun because I pulled out my knife, my selenite cord cutting knife, and then my new knife that's very sharp, and I haven't used that yet. I did a little scraping with me the other day. That was kind of fun. It was good. I liked it. Still have my arms, so I didn't abuse the scraping knife, which is always good. So we have tools, and this is kind of a goofy question because I think I know it, but so we have tools to cut cords, to cut attachments, to cut draining energy. What is the tool that you would use to attach positive energy? I'm looking for a tool, like a knife to cut, to attach positive healing. What would that be?
That's a good question. And I think it depends on what you mean because my immediate answer is you don't need a tool for that. You are the tool for that.
Okay.
Without blockages and drains and leaks and fears, you are the energy that attaches.
Okay.
Naturally. Now, to be more specific with positive, negative ions, this is going to be more heart chakra and above. So I would suggest heart opening things. And if we're looking at heart, then I'm going to look directly to your altar or your mesa. So the actual tool that you would use for that is the altar cloth itself,
Okay.
rather than the tools within it.
Okay. So when I asked that question, I came up with, the tool is your heart.
Yeah.
And then you took it to the tool of my altar cloth, and I just showed you that I had to move my altar, and it's now in a plastic box. So I think I need to work on that today. and get
As without, so within. What does that say, Danny?
I
That,
know, a plastic box, not even a wood box, a plastic one.
yeah.
I said I'm only gonna put you in here for a little bit, and then I'm gonna move you. My phone's going, get me out of here. Yes, and it's been there for 2 days too long. But I like that. I like that the tool um, is your altar cloth, is your, I think it is your sacred tools, your crystals, what you add things to. And I think a lot of times I forget how powerful my altar is. And I'll go, it's there. I have some sacred items on it. And I go outside and I do my meditations and stuff, but I forget about creating the altar outside too. So I think you're right with the altar cloth, and I would expand it to the altar. That would be the healing tool to attach good stuff.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The altar, especially your personal altar. So for me, that's my mesa or my portable altar cloth. It attaches to you on a soul level. And we don't really think about the altar itself much.
Mm,
We put sacred items on top of it. But there are so many shamanic practices that we do where we actually clear everything out of the altar and sit in the altar and take up that space. And that's when it has the most power because it's
yeah,
connected to us.
yeah, that's cool. I love that image that I just got in my head. That was very cool. Sitting in the center of your sacred space, your altar. We all do that. Well, I wouldn't say we all do. Some of us do.
And the altar, it really connects us to our divine feminine energy as well, which is all about transformation, change, cycles, seasons, magic, creation. So I know that feels more sacral energy, but it's really transforming. And the heart is the transformative chakra,
Yeah,
transform below to above, above to below, within to without, and vice versa. That's all in the heart. So
yeah,
it's transformation.
yeah. Awesome. Ooh, I'm like all charged up. All right, you want to throw some cards?
I already have.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. What deck are you using? I've got them all around me.
I did not pull my shaman cards. I've got my fifth element, which I've been using a lot of. My shaman cards are back there. So, you want to go
Well,
first with one card, and I'll go with.
this one, yeah.
We'll kind of do a back and forth, unless you just want to tell me what you got. What is it about the energy here?
Okay, so I'm not going to go by my logic because by logic, I was going to show you this card first because I've got 5 out. But just by the ones I actually pulled first, I'm going to go in that. Coyote's the first one that comes up.
Oh, yay.
So with this particular energy, how do we feel Coyote plays a role?
Plays a role. Is that
Mhm.
like a playing on the words? Because we talked about coyote last video where I put him in the South as a
Mm,
playful spirit guide.
mm-hmm. I can see that
Coyotes, coyotes. Do you remember that or no?
vaguely. This moment is so much more memorable, though.
Okay, so talk to me about Coyote.
You know, okay, you're right. Coyote is a very playful energy. And yet, when Coyote comes in, there's so much wisdom there.
Hmm.
We think of Coyote as being the trickster, and we learn wisdom and lessons through us not getting the things we originally asked for, through something else coming in instead, and then us learning ourselves and learning wisdoms through the thing that we didn't ask for. But what I'm seeing about this particular card, I don't know if you can tell through the screen, but this coyote has green all around his eyes.
Yeah.
Green is the color of the heart chakra. So I feel like Coyote is here to help open our eyes to the love that's happening right now.
Ooh,
In order
yeah.
for that to happen, it looks like there's two different energies that have to happen. One, we're going to have to clear our minds, change some belief systems, work through some shadows, let some things go. The second one is here at his mouth. It looks like he's literally eating something.
And
Like
is
it's
it green?
It does have some green energy to it, yes.
Took a bite out of somebody's heart?
And how I feel, the word eating crow just came to my mind, but that's like an opposite. Eat crow. Yeah, that's actually one of my screen names on Roblox or something. I don't remember. But it feels like clearing the energy here while taking and bringing into yourself, claiming the energy that you need. Because
Yeah.
so many of us out there just don't. We're cool giving and giving and giving, but how much of us actually allow ourselves to receive and to
Yeah.
ingest? And when they eat chickens and birds and whatnot, they're not doing it gently, like, oh, maybe I'll eat something. They're going for the kill. And they're using that as nutrients and turning that into abundance and love and
Yeah.
prosperity inside of themselves.
Cool.
That should be the name of this video, Go for the Kill.
How about Wile E. Coyote?
I like Go for the Kill better because it's more violent and aggressive.
Wow. Okay.
Your turn.
My turn. Okay. So the first card I pulled, we have a choice.
Mm.
We can call the video Wile E. Coyote or Go for the Kill. So one of the things, and this energy feels right now. It feels like it's so transformative. It's so it will spin us out of control, and how we choose to regain that control is it is up to us. And I think what it flows into is if we want to stay in that chaotic control, that's our choice that we can make, or we can drop out and go for the kill, go for high heart centered consciousness. I had to go with the coyote kill. I had to like tie it up.
I like that.
Did you? I thought it was kind of flimsy, but it's okay.
No, I liked it a lot.
I tried. Oh, thank you.
Can I see the card one more time?
Ready?
I'm ready.
That's the last time you're going to see this card.
Just hold it there for 2 seconds because I want everyone to really look at this card. The lightning is obviously two choices, like Danny was saying, but there's also a mirror reflection in the water. There's a shadow image there. And then there's a bird on the woman's back or the man's back. To me, it looks like a thunderbird of some sort, or could be
Yep.
eagle. But it represents to me spirit.
Yeah.
So we're always, regardless of what choice we choose, it feels like we're always spiritually guided. So we're never really choosing the wrong thing. We have free will choice, and we're always being guided to purpose, to destiny. Um, and then it feels like the lightning in the water, like those mirror images. It's like, okay, here's your choices. Let's move through the shadows. Let's heal through the shadows. And then I'll guide you towards purpose and destiny, towards the correct choice, or towards the choice that is
Yeah.
best for you.
Yeah. I don't think that there, so often we think, oh, we need to be um, always thinking of this. And I was just thinking about this earlier today, just the positive aspects of things, but that leaves us very shallow. And
Mm.
so, if we're only going towards that end, then we're missing half of the good stuff, which is the shadow side. Okay.
I
Good.
like that
I,
perspective.
I liked that you picked up on the mirror image of the lightning, and I also like the portal opening in this card too. That's pretty
See,
cool.
I didn't even see the portal.
Well, that's because I'm holding it up on a little teeny screen. But yeah, yeah, cool. You're next.
The sweat lodge.
Another portal energy.
Mm-hmm. It is. It's a portal energy. And so when I think of Sweat Lodge, this is a really, really big energy. It's a rite of passage, it's a coming of age ceremony, it's a come back to the womb ceremony. It's a big, important thing. And they have so many different kinds of sweat lodges. But this one I like in two ways, because or three ways really. If you look, it's a woman entering into that portal. You can kind of tell because it looks like she's wearing a dress. Um, and that shows me that this is a feminine womb like type of sweat lodge, such as coming into what you're about to birth or create.
Mm-hmm.
Two, if you look at the shadow of the
Yeah,
woman, it's not the shadow of a woman. It's the shadow of I don't even know what it is. It's like a creature. It's like the inner feathers or the inner world coming out that's being reflected
yeah,
as you
yeah,
enter that portal and birth something. The third thing I like about this is that there's eagle up top, which represents destiny. So again, this feels very reflective of the last card, less about making a choice though, but very much so about releasing, because you release and purge when you're inside of Sweat Lodge, and coming into that inner vision that aligns with who you really are inside, with your spirit self, so that you can birth that destiny into creation.
yeah. And it feels like the shadow of that card. It to me it looked like it was a dancer.
Mm.
But I see where you're saying it could be something else. But from here, it just looked like it was a dancer or uh, New Mexican. I'm not going to pronounce this right.
Oh,
Kelly.
stop. Oh, okay, Cocapelli. I thought you were about to say something else because I was like, I already saw that one. Keep going. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, that's it. So cool. And I liked it.
I thought that's what you were going to say, which
Uh,
is Roadrunner energy, which breaks through into purpose. So it's kind of the same energy. That's because in Spanish, that's a correcaminos, I think. And that's what I thought you were about to say.
okay. The other thing that I liked about that is um, that this woman is going into it's into a void. It's a white void though, so it's not like nothingness, dark,
Mm-hmm.
where you can. There's something that is um, it just feels like it's not something that you will create. It's something that spirit is allowing you to see. And I don't know if that's right or not with that, because when I do sweat lodges, it's I go into the void. But
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
okay, next card I get eagle feathers, 3 of feathers. And this is all about peace. That's all it says. There's clouds. They're not thunderheads like in here. There's a rainbow and 3 eagle feathers. And I don't know what this bird is besides flying and pretty. So
Love.
it this reminds us to just stay in that space where you step away from the chaos and just step into peace during this time. That's hugely important. And that's all I have to say about
The thing that really drew me was the rainbow.
that. Oh,
Uh, that's what really drew me. Now, in the Indian medicine wheel that we work in the space of the West, where you're doing all of that shadow work, right? That is where you learn how to release all fear. And when you release all fear, you realize that you can live in peace, because the only thing keeping you from living in peace is fear. Fear
yeah,
is the thing that drives us into separation, into judgment, into sabotage. Fear is the thing that keeps us from being who we really want to be. And
right.
without that, there's nothing but peace, no enemies.
Yeah, right. Correct. I agree.
Gold star.
All right.
The third one I got,
Ooh, 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 ooh.
the spiral. This was going to be the first one I showed you because it felt like it really related to what we were already talking about, but it
Yeah,
was the first one I pulled. So I decided to go in order. And to me, it has so much meaning. You can tell, I don't know if you can, but you can tell this card is so much more worn than all of the other ones. It's all wrinkled, it's been wet, it's been rained on, it's like coming apart. Like, this is the one card out of my shaman deck that, for whatever reason, it's so much more worn than the rest.
yeah,
And
wow.
it's like we're just in this dance, this spiral of life, and it's never ending. And the medicine wheel is a spiral, and life is a spiral. We work our energy in spirals. Nature works in spirals. It all feels like it's coming back to deeper and deeper layers of its own core, which is source energy. So everything always just eventually returns inward towards source, towards connection, towards the core of everything. And that's what I feel like I'm picking up on right now. But I also have imagery in my head of this, of your snakes. And it's like these look like snake coils to me in my
Okay.
brain. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do they know you used to have snakes?
Some do.
I used
Some
to have snakes.
I have mentioned it, but yeah. Used to have, not that I intended to, but I ended up with 6 different kinds of snakes. And don't it long story, and I won't repeat it. Okay, my third card. My third card is the Seeker of Shells.
Mm.
And so in this deck, it's that would be a young court card energy. And so it's in this reflection here, though, it brings about peace. It brings about full moon. It reminds us the importance of water and the interconnectedness of water with everything. And so uh, Yeah, it also just drops me into peace when I look at this card. So, um, drink water and find peace.
I love that. It's very relaxing, very feminine with the moon and the water, the emotion, the mermaid. Um, what draws me about that is the shell itself,
Hmm.
because we tend to look for seashells on the beach, what's been washed up. But most of the time, those shells are broken there because all of the good things have been picked through. So if you really want something good, if you really want treasure, you have to go into the depths of that water, down deep into the ocean to its origin and pull up those treasures. So it kind of feels like a lot of inner um, treasure seeking rather than just inner shadow work. So
Yeah,
that's completely flipped the
yeah,
narrative right there.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Hmm. So that's all I pulled. I just pulled three.
Okay. Well, I have two more,
Okay.
but I'll throw them together.
All right.
Okay. I ended up here with the earth and the circle. Why are we laughing? Tell me what this brings up for you.
Oh, I mean, it's the whole thing of everything what we're talking about. It just reminds me this is Earth School. Everything is connected. Everything goes in circles. It's not like um, what was told to me when I was a kid. You're just going in circles. You're not going anywhere. You're just going in circles, and that's Earth School. They missed
Something
the point.
something came to me that brings me back to the beginning, back to your version of Coyote, because what I was picking up from these combined was don't take everything so seriously. It's just life. Life has cycles, ups and downs, ins and outs, success and failure. You are who you are. It is what it is. Do what you can, forget the rest. It feels like, why are you taking everything so seriously?
Yeah,
Dance through it.
yeah. There's certain things that that I think are important to take seriously, but a lot of times we put it on somebody else. You need to
Mm.
be serious, or shape up, mister. Yeah, anyway, so yeah,
Yeah, accountability, personal accountability, because without accountability, you're not going to be given responsibility. And without responsibility, you'll never be going to be given stewardship. So you have to start with personal accountability.
yeah, exactly. So I just think that with from what I'm getting with these cards is it's just as what you just said. This, don't be so hard on yourself. This is just find that seashell moment. By the way, I'm still pissed I'm not a mermaid. Just want to let you know that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's tough.
it is. But just find peace in the in this space that you can in these moments in time. And what were the last two cards you got? Earth and
The
Circle.
circle. Yeah.
Yeah, and the circle has hands, all community, all different colors.
Mm-hmm.
Yay.
Perfect.
Perfect. All
My
right.
heart feels big around that.
What's that?
My heart feels really big around that last message.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. Anything else you would like to share?
I don't think so. I think this month is gonna be what it is. Beep, you're gonna do okay. You're gonna make it through. Like you said, we have the Lionsgate, we have the eclipse. Everyone's very heightened right now and hyper reactive in your energy field. And that's okay. I just see that image of everyone just kind of sitting with all of the energies moving around them and them sitting in the center in peace.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Just feeling
So,
that.
I think what I am going to do is I am going to go outside. Well, I'm going to arrange my altar back out of the plastic box
Mm-hmm.
today. And then I am going to take some sacred items and set them around in a circle and see what transforms outside in the sun or the moon.
That. Okay. You realize you're like doing a spell, right?
I'm doing a spell. Okay.
It'll be good. Let's see what happens. Go do it.
Do a
We'll stop next month.
What do you mean I'm doing a spell?
Like a ritual.
Like a ritual.
You put
Yeah.
things in a circle that means something to you with an intention of love or light or whatever it is that you've got going on. And next thing you
Putting a
know,
spell on someone.
you've opened a portal to change your life, So
There you go. Yeah. Yeah. All right, Mary. Excellent. Thank you for being here. Everybody, please subscribe to Mary Earths and Star Wellness. I'll put the link down below.
thank you.
And bye, everybody.
Bye, Danny. Bye, everyone.
Bye.